now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the golden voice of Neil Rule. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That guy is D-Mac, Darren McCarty, four-time Stanley Cup champion, Detroit sports media icon, Uncle Terry Foster in the house.
Yeah.
We're back off of, we had the Best Of show for Christmas Eve. We have Sam here in the production booth in the fishbowl, as it would be. Fish is in the bowl as well. Sawyer's here. You got a cool Christmas gift for the Christmas holiday. We're going to get into the Lions, obviously. We're going to get into the college football situation and everything that does go on in and around all that. But I have some Christmas stories. Sawyer has some. TFOS has some. D-Mac has some. I want to get your guys' as well, so you can jump in the YouTube chat thread if you're watching on the YouTube channel. Hello to everyone listening on the radio, 93.5 The Roar, 94.7 HD2, and 99.1 FM. Our social media handles are on the screen also. So, again, happy to have you all with us here today. But, T-Foss, I got to jump in on this one right away because this is something I know that you've experienced before as a father. I know a lot of you out there have experienced it before too as parents. Got the schoolhouse play set for my daughter's American Girl doll, right? And it's labor intensive, T-Foss, to put this thing together. There's hundreds of parts. There's pieces everywhere. And my wife and I, we get in there and we're starting to put it together. We get about an hour in on this thing. And the little clip that attaches the wall to the floor is broke off on the floor piece. There's nowhere to run, T-Foss.
Did you break it?
No, person at Target. I did not break it.
All right. Because that's the first thing they ask.
No, yeah, I understand that. And look, T-Foss, I was hot. I was telling you guys this before. I was hot. I was not mad at Linda at the store. I made it, D-Mac, I did the right thing. I told Linda when I got to the front of the line, which yesterday we had to do the pregame show, did that, got home, then had to deal with this Target situation. Couldn't go to the Target by my house because they didn't have it in stock. Had to go to the one that was 12 miles away to go do that. But, D-Mac, I told the lady at the counter, I'm like, this is not a Linda problem. You're the unfortunate victim of circumstance here. I said, but I'm really upset. And not by you. Not because of you or anything
Neil,
like that.
Would that have changed if her name was Brenda?
No.
I'm really proud of you because normally what people do is when they run into Linda, they act as if she built it, she broke it,
right. It's
her fault. She's just the face of the franchise right then. But you didn't take it out on her. I'm proud of you. You're a good guy.
No, and look, it was for me, it was just because I've been in that spot before. I worked retail when I was a kid in high school and all that kind of stuff.
I worked McDonald's.
Same thing. That's retail. I mean, fast food is basically retail. And I was like, all the times that you're at work and you had to deal with something, dude, that you had no part of, I always told myself I'd never be like that. But the moral of the story is we got it handled. I said, Linda, look, all I want is to give you this and leave here with one without a broken clip. I don't think it's a lot to ask. I don't. I think you would agree with that. And she's like, absolutely not. Now give her the receipt, and boom, we did it, and we were out.
Now, my question to you, did you not see this coming?
Oh, from 100 miles away.
And what I mean by that is when it started. The cancellation of your favorite bowl. Because they canceled the game when you were supposed to. Am I
Christmas
doing
Eve?
This?
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, when you put this together. So it sort of was already broken. But to your point, and as fathers ourselves, well done, young man, as Mr. Foster would say, as far as making Christmas for your daughter. Now, it was a little bit delayed, but how long, by what time did you have this set up, and was she
we got it together yesterday, again, after I got back from the Lions pregame show. But we got it fully assembled, T-Foss. It was lock, stock, and delivered at about 7 o'clock, 7:30 last night. So There it was again. There are again, people. There are far bigger tragedies in the world. You know what I'm saying? This is very much a first world problem. Like, I get that, and it wasn't even a problem. You know what though, TFOS? That's how good Christmas Eve was, being with the family. This is a long way of me telling you that. I could shrug that off, and we can move on. I got a good bottle of bourbon. I was cool. How was your Christmas, TFOS?
Mine was great until the mother-in-law fell.
Ooh.
She fell. Actually, she fell the day after Christmas. So we had to pick her up, and she wasn't hurt, thank goodness, but she was just scared because she's on a walker and all this kind of stuff, and so she fell down. But other than that, it was great. But the great thing about my Christmas is my kids no longer have things where you have to assemble. That was the worst thing in the whole world. My worst Christmas was when I got my neighbor Joe. We assembled an air hockey table.
Oh boy!
And you know, I bent my fingers, smashed things, was cussing. We were up until 4 a.m. Christmas morning putting this thing together.
Yeah, I've been there. Put together a couple of those kid cars, and that used to be a tradition, though. Like to the fact of that. That's why I was a little bummed, and it sort of, facetiously say it that you saw it coming, but without that bowl game, and sometimes as with the younger kids, and for me my enjoyment now that my kids are older also too is watching some of my friends and seeing the videos of the before and afters, because I was always the garbage man. You know, you always see the one with all the kids with the presents, and there's dad with the garbage bag. That was me.
That was me yesterday.
Right? And
but you know what the most embarrassing thing about the whole Christmas thing is? When you're putting something together and you're smashing up your fingers, you don't know what the hell you're doing, and you look at the box and it says easy assembly. Like, damn, am I a fool or something?
For who? For a mechanical engineer?
Yeah, it must be.
I got to send a shout out. One of the special things, and I had a low key Christmas, obviously. Mine consists of buying more gifts for the grand kitties and grand puppies and stuff like this. So all those kids were happy. But I had a great talk. Shout out to Fred and Brenda. I watched them get the Christmas cheer that they deserved, and had a great conversation. And I'll just leave it at that. So ran across some great people over the weekend, and really it solidified. I was saying, I don't know, Sawyer, but one of the best things is if you check out my DMAC OSB on Facebook, is Tammy Chin Schultz, who is one of our Big D Energy listeners. But Aunt Jackie, her sister, she got a game used McCarty jersey, and to me that was the beauty of Christmas right there. So I love you, Aunt Jackie, and if you get a chance, check it out, because to me that's what Christmas, to watching other people now. I guess that's because kids are older, Terry. Maybe that's what it is, and hopefully your mother-in-law's doing okay.
She's doing fine. She was just scared, but she went down.
Hey,
like
should have pushed her
tree.
harder next time. He didn't tell you that part, folks.
He left that part out. No, but
Fell on the carpet.
Taking your Christmas activities as well. If you want to jump in the YouTube chat thread, drop those little stories in there. But yeah, I mean, it was weird. Because right there, the Hawaii Bowl gets canceled, which is my thing on Christmas Eve, TFOS. It is. It's my thing. I love it. You guys know that. That gets canceled. TFOS, the Sun Bowl now. They're working to replace Miami Hurricanes. Had to drop out of the Sun Bowl. The Sun Bowl's in danger, TFOS. Think about that.
There's some poor sports writers in danger of not being entertained at the Sun Bowl. That's what I'm worried about.
See, there you go. Robert Colosia says not only, Neil, was the Hawaii Bowl canceled, Miami backed out of TFOS' Sun Bowl, which is now in jeopardy. Could also affect the Juarez Donkey Show attendance. Damn you, Omicron, right?
Yeah, I know. That's terrible. They probably don't do that anymore, because we're in a different time now. We don't do things like that. That's shunned upon now. But back then, it was like, okay, Donkey Show, let's roll.
Yeah, we're all about that. Machiavelli sucks to go says, Neil still has me depressed. Think about how it's almost over. And I will tell you guys this, where that was hanging in the back of my mind, though. Like what we talked about the day before Christmas Eve was, because TFOS, what you said, my sons are pretty much exclusively electronics now. You know, they're teenagers,
right.
They're pushing to be teenagers. They're pretty much exclusively electronics. And while it's nice, that you don't have to be in the pressure cooker with putting all that stuff together. And my wife, I don't know if you guys know this or not, I'm not very mechanically skilled inclined.
You got that in common.
Trifecta. My wife taught me how to use a screwdriver.
Yeah, I'm not very motor skilly. I'm more of a talker. I don't know if you guys know this or not.
Talker and an intellect.
Intellect. That's the way I'm going to.
And as I hear in the promotion, you have subtle tones too.
Subtle tones. See,
Yeah.
there
And
you go.
he's the leader.
And he's a leader of men. Yes.
But my
leader
wife-
of men. You should be.
My wife is very motor skilly, and she actually takes the lead when we're assembling this stuff. She does. I'm the brute force guy. When something won't go in,
I've been married 10 years. You know what my card says? I might have learned this from TFOS because he throws nuggets out everywhere if you're paying attention. Finance, transportation, heavy lifting. Boom. And I'm almost in my I'm in my 50th year. The heavy lifting, I told the wife over Christmas, man, I got to work better on the finances because I'm done with the heavy lifting. So if you double up the finances, hence do Neil Rule, get the bag, then you don't have to do the heavy lifting. But those three I take care of: finance, transportation, heavy lifting.
When you hit your 50s, you're supposed to have a son in his teens. He's doing the heavy lifting now, if you can get him to do it.
He's heavy lifting the UCLA Bruins. So that's, if you can get to do it. There's the caveat, TFOS.
Right.
If you can get to do it. So, no bloodline here.
no. But I did go back to that conversation we had on Thursday, where it was in the back of my mind, and I was conscious about it, that it is going to be over soon, like as far as that stuff goes. And it was something where, you guys in the YouTube chat there, like we talked about that. So I did want to say thank you all, because you helped change the perspective a little bit. Because a normal person, no Hawaii Bowl, the toys are broken, that could have sent somebody over the holiday edge. But TFOS, you know what I did? I just cracked open the bottle of bourbon I got as a gift. I had a little sip, and we moved on, TFOS. We're growing up, TFOS.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Thank you, TFOS.
When I got stressed out, I had to take I was hoping for bourbon, but I got tequila. It was a little rougher, so I have to take a little bit less of tequila than bourbon.
Now, were you disappointed? Were you happy? It
was just different.
Different? You just had to change your tactics.
Yeah, I had to change my
But
tactics.
to the experience.
It's a different kind of mellow.
But that's why you're the professor, because you don't just slam it the same way, because it has different effects. It's all a learning process. I wish that's something that I never learned, so I had to quit. Moderation. Balance.
Balance. That's what it is. Machiavelli sucks to go. Oh my God, I'm depressed again. No, you don't get depressed. You get happy. Be happy you got the time. That's the way you do it, man. Don't get depressed that it's over. Be happy it happened.
Be happy it happened. There it is, because the clock doesn't go. And then back to the pictures and stuff is my friends that would send the ones where all the trees or the tree with the presents under. It's all hunky dory. It's that holiday Christmas story picture, and then there's the carnage of the wrapping everywhere and everybody going through it like a typhoon. And somebody says, to your point, needs perspective, and I just say enjoy it while it lasts, because it will run out. It's sort of the same thing that Dino Cicerelli told Drapes, Ozzy Maltz, and I in our first year or second year, is like, guys, enjoy it while it lasts, be over soon. And we were like, shut up, old man, you don't know. You were right, Dino, as always. You were right.
That's what old people say.
That's what old people say.
And then you look around the room, and all of a sudden you are they are. Here's a Sun Bowl question for you, TFOS. Jake Wegener wants to know, if the Sun Bowl is canceled, do the hosts still get paid? They probably take cash beforehand, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they pay them beforehand. Yeah.
That's what I would think. That they're more cash in hand type people.
Yes. And they got a little slush fund, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions, obviously. They did exactly what I wanted them to do. And I've been getting a lot of pushback from people in this building, or in the Woodward sports family, from people on social media. And we need to have this out, TFOS, because the draft picture became a lot more clear over the weekend. And we need to lock in and just reinforce the lines where everybody is. And something I need to reinforce to you, look, right now, you're watching Big D Energy live from the MyBookie studios, right? You also know the Quick Lane Bowl is going on. We have it up here on the TV screen. You could be down on it right now if you went to to mybookie.ag. They're still doing the Woodward bonus code where they'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. They're playing some of these bowl games. So look, the field is getting a little bit diluted because these games get canceled. So when you get one going, you're lucky and you want to get down on it. And you can do it at MyBookie. Again, promo code Woodward. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. NFL is coming down the stretch. The playoffs are not that far off. NBA still going on. If you would have taken the over in the Pistons game yesterday and taken the Spurs, you'd have been a big winner there as well. MyBookie.ag. It's where it all goes down for real, people. One more time. Double your first deposit with the promo code Woodward. Hop on MyBookie.ag. They take crypto. You could make your deposit with crypto currency. You can withdraw in cryptocurrency. However you want to do it, the people at MyBookie have you covered. Go to mybookie.ag. One more time. Promo code Woodward. Double your first deposit up to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a problem with gambling? Call the Problem Gambling Helpline. 1-800-270-7117.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
Of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, back from the Christmas holiday weekend. Happy to have you all along for the ride. If you got the day off work today and you're still tapping in, appreciate you. Really do appreciate you. College football schedule. It's going on right now at Ford Field. The Quick Lane Bowl is up and running. Nevada has a 3-0 lead over Western Michigan. Nevada was a 7-point underdog in that game. Lots of COVID problems for Nevada, but they were able to get out there on the field here today. But the Lions also got on the field in Atlanta, and obviously got to talk about that. They lose to the Atlanta Falcons 20-16. And TFOS, it was, to quote Van Halen, it was the best of both worlds because the Falcons got the
best.
It was
Both worlds.
Lions competitive, dare I say good during stretches of that football game. But in the end, when it was all on the line, TB12, TFOS, TB12 came through and made a play to make it all right.
Van Halen.
I think you're safe. You're safe because the Lions are going to get what they want in the draft. I know you're Mr. Draft Capital. Don't worry about Jacksonville. Jacksonville might take an offensive tackle. So if they take an offensive tackle, you're going to have your pick of Thibodeau or Hutchinson.
I get my cake and eat it too, Foss.
Bam.
Hey,
so what's the big deal?
I'm going to take people, as you can see, 15. We're 20 away or 19 away. We're getting closer to the day. But I'm going to take you back to yesterday, live, when the Lions had the ball right before that pick. I text my partner, Neil Rule, and said to him, what I say all the time, you like your spot? and then Tim Boyle threw a pick, and he responded, absolutely. When he does the right thing, he was do the right thing. What I'm trying to say is, to the best of both worlds, and everything happened, but hats off to Tim Boyle for his second career game, getting his first touchdown. He looked good at different places, but you can see the inexperience and a little bit of the rust there with all the false, what they have, 6 false start penalties, and everybody was sharing in them. So, but a lot better than I thought he would play. Is that if that's where it was, and it was an entertaining game.
I think in the Lions system, I think a lot of quarterbacks can succeed because it's very simple. It's not a you're not pressing the ball down the field. You're doing check downs and stuff. So I think a guy like Tim Boyle can still run that offense and be close to what Jared Goff is. Not Jared Goff-like, but close to that, because they're not taking chances and they're trying to run clock. And I think you can put a lot of quarterbacks in there, or newer quarterbacks, and that offense would be pretty much the same.
What I liked about it, though, yesterday, again, TFOS, and we talked about this on the pregame show yesterday, and I brought this up to Braylon Edwards, and he was pretty much in lockstep. The reason the draft thing is so important to me, which we'll describe in absolutely. We'll discuss and break down the different kinds of fans and the interactions I've had over the weekend as far as the draft capital thing goes. But here's the deal, TFOS. This Lions offensive line, certainly when Ragnow comes back next year especially, is too good for this team to be this bad again. You know what I'm saying? It took like a perfect... It's hard, TFOS, to get a number 1 or a number 2 overall pick. You have to be especially bad in the NFL to get that number 1 or number 2 overall pick. That's why I'm so protective of it this year.
I understand.
Because you're not getting that opportunity again.
But you know what? You're having heart palpitations because I think you can relax now. You're in good shape.
To quote Kobe Bryant, job's not finished.
Wait a sec. Did anybody realize that you might have seen? I mean, the Lions sort of, that wasn't a tank trying to win the way that they, made it look good with your third place, your backup. It looked good. But anybody talking about the way Jacksonville that could have been the greatest tank, having it on the goal line. Not only do you have your quarterback spike it on third down from less than the 1 that you're going to run that last play, and instead of running the last play, you have a false start penalty that knocks the clock back and knocks you down, so you don't even have to run the play to even worry about that. Hats off to Jacksonville. I mean, well done.
They just wanted it more.
They wanted it more. I mean, in the Neil Rule battle for first, I mean, they are proving why they might have it. But I like your point, Terry. Let's not get upset because they might have to go to an offensive lineman to protect.
You would think that would be the play for them.
Right? Or is Jacksonville, would they even go out and do, you look at what Cincinnati decided to do. They decided not to protect Joe Burrow, but go get him, Jamar Chase, who just won Pro Bowl wide receiver. Would they have the gall to pick a receiver that high? I doubt it, but who knows? It's Jacksonville. So I like where we're at if we stay at 2.
Absolutely. Update from down at Ford Field. Western Michigan ran the ensuing kickoff back for a touchdown, so they now have a 7-3 lead over Nevada, much to the chagrin of our resident Chippewa T-Foss, Terry Foster. You're rooting for the MAC needs something.
Why is he putting words in your mouth when you're a fan of the state?
I'm not against Western Michigan winning. I'm not like Michigan and Michigan State fans. Y'all root against each other. I want Western Michigan to win.
Well, the MAC needs one, T-Foss.
Right.
They need one bad.
Preach.
Right. So I don't root against the Broncos except one time a year. Let them win. Let them kick Nevada's ass. Why do I care about Nevada? I don't. In fact, I thought about going downtown and partying with the Broncos today. But much rather be with you fellas.
Oh.
There you go. See, T-Foss appreciate you. Plus, the party will still be going on. I mean, they'll be down there still. You can jump in there and get down. I'll be headed downtown a little bit later tonight, as will D-Mac. That's why I busted out the NWO shirt. WWE Raw.
Monday Night Raw
is going to be at the LCA tonight. Go to 313presents.com and secure some tickets for you.
I'll be down there. You'll be down there.
Yeah.
And then IWR in Monroe on Wednesday. Because as Dave Mencher commented, real wrestling fans will be at both. So I'll be at both. But it's exciting.
I have a big question for you, brother.
Yes.
I'm thinking of going to the Red Wings game January 21st against the Dallas Stars. If I run into you, would you acknowledge that you know me?
Oh, 100%. That only come on, man.
He won't have time.
That helps my street cred. That helps my street cred.
I feel like I'm in Darren's building.
Well,
100% you are.
See that your self-awareness, right? And we don't have to say that, but yes, it is. But you're always welcome there because you helped me build it.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, guys like yourself that had to lug up into the. I mean, Porter Guy, Terry Foster. One of the reporters and one of the guys that covered the team that was an afterthought of Joe Louis Arena. What do I mean? They put the press box in after they finished the rink. And so these guys had to lug up the back stairs and wait for a stinky elevator and do all this stuff. So it's just much as your place it is
Not
mine.
me. You know where I watch the games? I stayed in the basement.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I was gonna say I was gonna be wrong. I was gonna say Cobo Joe's, but
Well, that came
was
into play
close.
too. At least when I went down to Joe Louis Arena, Cobo Joe's was a staple.
Post bar, baby. That's a whole post bar chronicles. Too bad I can't remember them, but that was a staple. And see, that's the one thing. If you have your post bar, the original post bar card from back in the day, then technically, it's like an NFT. You have part of LCA too.
Right, there you go.
In my opinion, not that mine matters, but that's how I see
We
it.
respect that.
Yeah, but again, talking Lions Falcons here. Lions did the job running the football. Another 130-yard rushing day on 33 carries, so right around 4 yards per carry for the Detroit Lions. But that goes back to my point, though, about this football team. I don't think they can be this bad again next season, just based on the strength of that offensive line.
No, and they can't because of the NFL. The NFL is structured for teams to win 6 to 10 games. And 90% of the time, that's what's going to happen. And so if you fall below that, I think you're guaranteed to be within that 6 to 10, well, probably more 6 victory range next year. So it's just the way it's structured because of the draft and free agency and a whole bunch of other stuff that goes along with it.
Do you think it's more of the COVID factor, guys missing this and that, injuries, whatever it is? But this is the tightest going into the latest in the season that I can remember back in the day, as far as like who's not only winning the. It seems like the Dallases and the Green Bays, the division winners are coming out, but still that playoff race, because you look at what San Diego goes in and loses to Houston, and it's just. It reminds me more of turning into the NHL at the playoff deadline time.
I want to prepare you for something, young man. When you're watching the Super Bowl victory and their celebration, you're going to hear people say, we won because we stayed together as a team. This is my brother over here, the community supporters. No. The reason you won is because you avoided COVID better than the other team. I think the teams that they're able to keep their guys together, not get sick or not be under protocol, that's going to be the team or the teams that make it to the Super Bowl.
But isn't that the asterisk for all major sports then? If you could say
Sure.
that for the Super Bowl, you could say that for every champion coming in this year. I guess because the Super Bowl is the next one and it's going to be other than national championship. But we still haven't seen. Are we waiting for the shoe to fall for Friday?
I think we are in the back of our minds. I think we all are.
I mean, because right now, if I'm a betting man, which I am, I'm going 70-30. It ain't happening. I mean, I'm leaking more towards like some shoe's going to fall. Or, to Terry's point, we're going to witness 6 guys out here, 8 guys out here. Is it really, truly the best four teams vying for the championship? No, not without your best players. So, to the asterisk point, I think that's with everything.
Big man, I think if you only missing 6 to 8 guys for football, you're probably going to be lucky. So you might be that team.
But that's your point. When you're putting the bar there, right? Where the minimum bar to accept is 6 or 8 guys. That's way too much to the integrity of the victory. Correct? Right? But I mean, I get it to where you're saying, hey, we're in the now and we're going to compete and we're going to take it, because you're not going to. If I'm an athlete, I don't care what you're saying. I don't care what I'm saying. Is like, go screw yourself. At the end of the day, I'm getting a ring and I'm getting whatever else. But to your point, Terry, is that do teams, especially in football, think that if I only have 8 or 10 guys or 6 or 8 guys, that's a win? That's sad.
But that's where we are, though.
But that's where we are.
And where you should be, at the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck, home of the original football bowling pin game.
Never know, you might get in the game.
Foaling. You can host your
call.
corporate party, team building event, or just come on in with your family and friends. You can do an unlimited open play option. There's also lanes that you can reserve privately. If you got a little bit of a squad coming out there, you guys can get yourself set up at the Foaling Warehouse. A great night, lots of fun. Your friends are doing it, your coworkers are doing it, everybody is doing it. And it's just truly a lot of fun. And don't worry, too, they got you covered as far as the libation angle and everything that's going on in a social setting. Multiple full bars. There's over 100 beers available. A $2 mystery beer vending machine. Sawyer, no more than a week ago, put $2 in there. Came out with an Old Milwaukee. There he is. Like, that's it. And he was fired up to get it, too. He was grateful to have it because that's how Sawyer rolls. That's how the Fooling Warehouse rolls as well. It is, again, going back to it, guys, just a ton of fun. If you haven't been there, let's boil this all down. If you haven't gone down there, go down there and just try it. Grab yourself a beer and try it, okay? That's the best advice that I can give you. Check it out for yourself. Go get your full on. Go to foolingwarehouse.com and go ahead. Take a look at the Fooling Warehouse.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Uncle T-Foss, story time with Terry Foster coming up in just a little bit.
Hosts.
Oh, yeah. It was funny, too. Sawyer goes to T-Foss. He goes, "You got a story, Terry?" And he just looked him dead in the eye. What'd you say, Terry? Of course he's got a story.
Dude, it's like,
if I don't have a story, I'm not coming. I'm not coming up here. What's up?
No, exactly. What's up? Exactly. Just give him a little juice, stir it up. It's just whether it's not, does he have the story? It's which story can we travel into the mind of Uncle Terry and dig out?
Absolutely. But did want to get in this discussion because, again, I feel as though I have to prove this over and over and time again. So you guys will have to humor me here. Lions lose in Atlanta yesterday. And my good buddy with the Detroit News, Tony Paul, put out a tweet yesterday and said that was a gross ending to a good game? Or a gross end to a decent game. That was his tweet. It depends on your perspective. Because I have to go through this, T-Foss. I have to explain to the people. And I've been getting this from every angle. The pregame show, some people were talking to me about it. Social media yesterday, people were kind of clapping back at me about it. I'm not telling running backs to go fumble the football. I'm not saying that. I am, however, saying that the ultimate result that you can get is a loss, and you'll never be able to convince me otherwise, T-Foss. The second you can't win in the playoffs, the second you can't win and go to the playoffs, the second you're not involved in the playoffs, it's over. And the system, the way it's set up, which I didn't create this system, everyone. This wasn't my brainchild. I didn't do it. You are rewarded for losing. That's a factual statement, T-Foss.
No, it is true. And your heart's in the right place. And the thing I would tell these fans, when you look back on a season, what's it matter if you have 4 wins or 6 wins? You don't remember those wins, but you do remember that draft night. Say, damn, Lions could have had this player, missed out because my team had 6 wins instead of 4 wins. But that's professional sports now. You're either in it, trying to get it, and get that lottery ticket in the playoffs, or get that lottery ticket out of the playoffs. And you want as many lottery tickets as you can get so you can get that high draft pick.
Well, it comes to, like you said, because it's, to the argument, and Stick makes this all the time, which I don't think is correct at all.
He's number 1 on the hit list. Here we go. We're talking about Stick, who does a post-game show.
Because what's his quote? It's not where you draft, it's who you draft. To that point, the higher the draft pick you have, the more options you have instead of somebody falling to you or banking on somebody else making a bad choice or a good choice that falls into you. Having the option to go left or right instead of being forced to go left is the option there. That's where the argument ends. To your point, Neil, it just gets me thinking that earlier on when we talked about it goes down to the system. The system's broken. how do we fix it? And once teams are eliminated, is that then they get the spot, right? So once Detroit was eliminated, they would get the first spot or the second spot, and then it goes down to, well, that doesn't make sense because the competition between divisions. Well, there's a way. You have to figure it out a little bit differently. But to your point, on your perspective, that was the best thing to happen. Right? To the point is how hard the guys play, and we said it all along. To the fact that if they can force fumbles in the last play possession like they did against Minnesota and last night to give themselves another shot, what happens when they're good? Because that's a mentality that you can do it and have the confidence to keep doing it. Same thing with Jack Fox, who's 100% completion as a quarterback. In the NFL, but whether he's kicking it or whether he's throwing it or whatever else, yeah, the stats don't lie, right? Like that's the whole thing. So to your point about your perspective, yeah, that's the best thing that fall. That's why I just shake my head on how Jacksonville did it, because you know what? Somebody in that organization is along board with you, Neil. Right? Because they need that no matter what, because they have to have the decision, and then whether you mess it up or not, that doesn't matter. So to Stick's argument about Jordan and Bowie and whatever, no, but you picked the wrong guy, the guy in front of you. We did it with Darko. You did it, you look at the Pistons and the Red Wings now, it looks like the guys making the decisions made the right picks, and the Cunninghams and the Raymonds and the Siders, and now we got Irvin. So to that point, that's to me what it comes back to. It's the perspective, but you want that first or second pick.
And here's my point about it, TFOS, and I'm curious to get your take on this, because Jerry Benson on our YouTube chat thread says, drafting consistently in the top 10 for the Lions for the last 20 years hasn't helped the Lions to win. That's false. That's wrong.
Really?
2014, yes.
Okay.
2014, TFOS. The team that had a NFL historically great defense, the team that went to the playoffs and got that playoff win in Dallas ripped from them. What was the foundation of that team? Matt Stafford, number 1. Calvin Johnson was a number 2 overall pick, and Ndamukong Suh was a number 3 overall pick, I believe.
Okay, what did it get him?
It got him in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, here's what I say. Whoop-de-doo.
Well, okay, TFOS.
Congratulations.
I get that. No, I get that. But you say it didn't help them win. They were 11-5 that year. Had a historically great defense based on who they drafted. That's what that team was based on. The core of that team was who they drafted. Okay, and they drafted them high.
All right, baby boy, you are falling to the same trap with Lion fans. Here's why I'm sick of Lion fans. You're celebrating regular season wins. Big deal.
I don't disagree with you, Terry.
Playoff games.
I don't disagree with you.
That's where you go. This town here, Red Wings. You want them to make an advance to the playoffs. Pistons, you want to see them win an NBA title. Tigers, you want to see them advance in the playoffs. Lions, let's see the guys win some games or come close. These are our guys. I'm sick of that.
I don't disagree with you, Terry. You're right. The difference now with who's in charge and who's the guy making the picks is he's capable of plucking an Amon-Ra St. Brown in the fourth round. That's where it's different. Now you give him that type of arsenal with the ability to pick the Amon-Ra St. Browns in the fourth round. This is the most hope I've had for the Lions since Barry. For real. And I'm being 100% honest with you guys. And I know I get labeled for being a hater because I want to see them lose. Again, I don't want them to throw games. I'm not asking them to do that. I'm rooting for an outcome. And the outcome that's optimal is to not win. I didn't make the system. It is what it is.
If people really studied you, they realize you're a lover, not a hater.
Absolutely.
Because you want the overall best for this franchise. I think most Lion fans are just looking at today. I want a victory today. And so their way, I'm not saying it's wrong, but it doesn't benefit the franchise.
But here's to your point. What does is the decisions, because who haven't we been talking about? Which to me is a great thing, because if you're not talking about your offensive line and you're not talking about your first round pick in Penei Sewell and stuff like that, because he's getting the job done, same thing.
Because there's nothing to say.
That's what I'm saying, right? Is that means it's the right. You hit on that choice, which means I have confidence going in the next draft, no matter what it is, that we're going to choose the right guy, because the eyeball test of guys that Brad Holmes chooses make it onto this lineup. Well, that's a start. That's a building block. You hear from Dan Campbell all the time about building the foundation. Well, I can see. I didn't see it for a while. I didn't see that he was running four-man and he was pouring cement over, in the pond. I didn't understand that, why in his coaching decisions, but it's a work in progress, but they're all in it together. That's what I see. Win or lose, they're all in it together, and that's why you're going to accomplish something.
Everybody might get what they want. Neil, you might get the draft capital that you desire.
That I lost for.
The fans are getting a couple victories, which they wanted. The Lions are playing hard, so they're trying to build a culture, which is happening. So it seems like on the surface or underneath the surface, everybody's getting what they want. Lion fans may not be getting as many wins as they desireth, but they're getting some wins. Your draft capital, whether you pick 1, 2, or 3, you might get the same guy. So celebrate that. So you're getting what you want.
Well, you can if you're 3, TFOS. That's where it falls off.
Yes, you can. Think about this. If Jacksonville, which I think they may do, drafts an offensive tackle, I will still go back to who's going to be way better, Hutchinson or Thibodeau. We don't know. So if you end up with the second, whether you end up with Hutchinson or Thibodeau at 3, what's it matter? We don't know which one of those is going to be great.
The thing is, TFOS, like with it all, and yesterday was big, and that was a good thing for the Jaguars-Jets game, was either way it was going to help the Lions when you drill down to the core of it. But it was big because Houston won too, so now there's some breathing room. If the Lions lose one more game, they have officially locked up no worse than the number 2 pick. They just got to lose one more, TFOS.
So if they lose to Seattle, will you be secretly rooting for them to beat Green Bay?
Oh, all in, because I'd want to crush Aaron Rodgers.
He's always been all in once it's locked up.
Yeah,
when and then he always goes back to Kobe and about the job not being done.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd be cheering so hard right now if they had that position locked up.
Absolutely.
That's why he's a lover, Terry. You broke it down here on this Therapeutic Monday.
And anything that you can do to hurt the Green Bay Packers franchise. Remember, TFOS, the only time this year where I jumped off the lose bandwagon was a Monday night game against the Packers. Remember all those weeks ago? The Packers were kind of teetering on the brink, and I wanted to drive a stake through the heart of the franchise.
You could have destroyed that franchise.
And we didn't, TFOS. We let them off the hook. We let them off the hook, and look what happened now. Now they're a threat to win the Super Bowl, and I'm pissed. But he'll choke in the end.
No, they're going to beat Tampa, I'm telling you.
He'll choke in the end, TFOS.
All right, we'll see.
He'll choke in the end. I actually want him to have the home field because I want everyone to gush and, it's Aaron Rodgers and it's Lambeau and it's the playoffs and it's snow. Oh, it's supposed to snow today at Green Bay. Unbelievable. This is great. This is football. And I want Tom Brady to ride in on the horse and come in
he gonna get Tom Brady
up the game and ride off into the sunset.
You're going to get Matt Stafford. Matty Stafford. And Aaron Rodgers in the tundra.
That. No, I can't have that. I got to have Tom Brady. I got to have Tom Brady do it. It's the only one.
But Tom Brady might not have any guys to throw to.
I know.
What if he doesn't have his weapons? I'd rather see Stafford.
I put on this.
I want to see Stafford flame and burn in that game and see if Rodgers can. Don't you understand? You have a Stafford versus Rodgers game.
No, the problem
game that
is,
he can't get through the game he needs to get through.
But D-Mac, with that scenario, the problem is somebody's going to win. You know what I'm saying? They play till somebody wins. So somebody will win, and I won't be able to take it.
And who do you want to win?
Neither. That's why I want Tom Brady.
Who would you want to win?
That's why I want Tom Brady to come in and take it all.
You know what?
Gun to your head, who would you take?
Who do you want to see crash and burn
the most
in Green Bay? Right.
Aaron Rodgers or
Stafford or Tom Brady?
I'll tell you what I do want to see today.
Holy cow, that thing is...
It's getting low.
Was full. That thing was full 2 days ago.
Hey, I remember back in the day, Terry. I would have never got rid of, somebody's drinking my bottle.
Who drank all this? Who drank all the Gypsy Vodka? 50 different formulas, countless taste tests to arrive at this right here. Gypsy Vodka. Michigan's gluten-free vodka. The best tasting, smoothest vodka on the market. Gluten-free, corn distilled 6 times, artesian spring water. Those are like the technicals about it. All I know is I take a glass with some ice, I pour it like that, I let it settle, I pour it like that, I throw some limes and some club soda in there, and it tastes good. I don't know all the technicals to it. All I know is it tastes good. That's all I care about. That's why I roll with Gypsy Vodka when I'm doing the gin and soda, or excuse me, the vodka and soda. There is no question about it. You can try a bottle. Ask for it by name. It's Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, TFOS, Terry Foster, D-Mac, Darren McCarty in the house. Sam is in the fishbowl. Sawyer on the ones and twos. Sawyer, you got hooked up with that Christmas gift, didn't you?
Oh, we did. We sure did.
What were you representing there on the Christmas gift there?
Pull that away. Whoa, spoiler. Got this nice little Tigers hat though.
Yeah,
you know, good stuff.
What
Real
else?
Good stuff. Yeah, now I mean, might as well show them now.
You may as well.
Yeah. Oh, Settlers of Catan.
Settlers of Catan.
So you said you ran a game with your parents just to kind of wet their whistle a little bit.
Yep. Just get them into it. You know, get them feeling a little bit. Get them kind of roped in.
Did you play?
So, oh yeah. By the end of it, my parents went, "Yeah, that's a really fun game."
How long did it take to play a game of Settlers of Catan?
It took probably since we were just learning, you know, because they'd never played before, maybe an hour 15.
Oh, that's not bad.
Hour 20. Yeah.
What was your best gift?
When I was playing with my buddies, it was maybe 45 minutes tops.
Oh, cool.
So
was that the best gift? TFOS wants to know.
I'd say that was up there, yeah. This Tigers hat was nice. I've been wanting a new Tigers hat for a while.
You said you got a Colts pullover, too.
I did. I
Your
got
Indianapolis
new,
Colts.
Colts 3/4 zip. Big win on Christmas Day.
Who didn't see that coming? This Cardinals team is broken.
I mean, after
you call it again. Do I
have
to? If you want to figure the downfall, if this man was back around when Pompeii burnt and Mount Vesuvius, he would predict, because he knows downfalls. You've been calling it all year. This is a tailspin that the Cardinals are in. Crash and burn, they ain't coming out of it.
You know, I think you may have a special gift over here we need to acknowledge. Neil can kind of predict downfalls. He can. he knows when kingdoms are about to fall. And he says it just before it happens. So maybe it's a little gift you got.
Maybe I do. What else you got, Sawyer?
Oh, I was just going to say, coming out of the YouTube chat, Alex Mayer, the producer of The Bottom Line, Live from 2 to 4, he also got Catan for Christmas. So
it's a movement.
He can't read. How's he going to play?
He'll figure it out. He's a smart kid, right?
I don't know.
Rampage says, Neil, we can overtake the Packers the next few years, though the division will be wide open for the taking. The whole Packers diatribe there, getting a lot of reaction. Lions Rumble 81, Neil trolling the Packers hard. I want them to be destroyed. I do. And you know what? There's a small part of me that while the Lions could have done it, I think I can get the best of both worlds, where the Lions did lose that game on Monday night, and the Packers can once again fall on the biggest stage. And then Aaron Rodgers can quit talking about it and actually be about it and say, look, I'm leaving. All right? You keep talking about it, Aaron Rodgers. So it'll take one more loss one more choke job by you. You keep talking about it. How about you be about it? And when you lose this year, leave. Go to Denver or go to the Raiders or go wherever it is you're going to go, Carolina, whatever, and just go and be done with it. Stop talking about it and be about it.
Damn. Does he make you that mad? So his button is Aaron Rodgers. Maz's button is Tom Brady. Terry, I don't think you and I care enough to have a button.
No, I don't have it. But you know, there's a lot of buttons. Matthew Stafford, they're pushing that, but they hope he crashes and burns.
Yeah, there's a lot of buttons out there.
People are. Rack says we need to put an end to the Settlers of Catan movement right now. I'll give you guys credit, Sawyer. You guys are getting it going.
Hey, I got a question. So along those lines with questioning this, what about Patrick Mahomes? You know, are they back, or is it just to the dysfunction of, is Pittsburgh in the worse condition than Jacksonville, Houston, or the Jets?
Now, Kansas City is back. I mean, it's not just Pittsburgh. They've been destroying a lot of people lately. They won 8 in a row.
Yep.
So that tells me that whatever problems they were having early in the season, and I think they were easily fixable. I think Kansas City, you know, sometimes you fall in a rut. We can do anything to anybody any day we want. Well, that little magic ran out. So I think the Chiefs broke things down. They went back to fundamentals. Patrick Mahomes is not trying all these crazy ass plays all the time, and that they're playing real football now, and it's working for them.
Steve Brown on our YouTube chat thread says, bring back the F1 talk, which always gets me.
Lewis Hamilton's still whining. Carry on. My question to you guys, right, also, too, because of this weekend things that we saw, Antonio Brown, 10 catches, over 100, to everything else. Doesn't that just go to your point to what Bruce Arians and what Tampa is at the end of the day? It's just the Al Davis, just win, baby. Just win whatever it takes, whatever you have at your disposal. Because that was impressive.
As long as they don't have to play the Saints, they'll be fine. As long as they get to go to Green Bay and play Aaron Rodgers with all the chips in the middle of the table, it'll be fine.
Right. And you know, you can jump big and bad and say, we're tired of Antonio Brown. But then he shows that you really need him. Now, you know, the NFL is all about discipline. We discipline those who can't help us, but if you can help us, we kind of, you know, let's sweep that stuff under the rug. And that's what's happened with Antonio Brown. I'm sure they're sick and tired of him, all of his antics and his diva ways, but
10 catches is 10 catches.
10 catches is 10 catches.
When they had when the game they had to have. No, and that's where it is, and that's what it's going to be. But you know, as we get into this, and you know, as far as the NFL goes, what they did with this whole playoff realignment thing, TFOS, and the NFL gets a ton of stuff wrong, as we know, a ton of stuff wrong. I think they did this playoff thing perfectly, because you have, what is it, the 24 teams are still alive for a playoff spot with 2 weeks to play. So I think, like, when we're talking about tanking or losing or wanting draft capital, I think you've done about as much with that as you can do with what the NFL did by adding just one playoff team. By adding just one, you kept everyone alive to the point where, again, 20-plus teams are still involved, so they're not going to lay down. The Atlanta Falcons are still alive. You know what I'm saying?
You only are out if you're abysmal.
Bingo. See?
Lions, Jacksonville, abysmal.
Texans, etc., Giants, Jets.
Yeah, it's like when Martha Ford said about Matt
Lions
Patricia
fans. What?
That no, she was saying, you know, if he's still in contention in December for the playoffs, we're going to keep him. That, to me, is not saying anything. That shows where the Lions are. The Lions are not serious about winning. You can be 5-7 in December, and guess what? You're in playoff contention. Sometimes you can be 4-8, and you're in playoff contention. That's nothing. Give me a break.
Well, I mean, it's you look at usually the NFC East, right? But it looks like Dallas has a stranglehold on there. But we saw that last year, and I guess that's the formula to how can they change the system or not in the draft because of the divisions. I don't know if they, because of the playoffs, that they're thinking of realigning, doing something different like that to make it more feasible. But it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and the way it's set up right now, and it's all rounding into shape like we figured it would. Update at the Quick Lane Bowl, Western Michigan Broncos up 17-3 against Nevada. And their quarterback, we're talking about quarterbacks, their quarterback Carson Strong not playing in this game for Nevada. So there's that. And Nevada probably won't end up with much more than those 3 points that you see on the board here.
And, you know, go Broncos, enjoy Detroit.
So then it's not a rivalry then, Terry, is what you're saying.
You can't,
the Central Western thing is not a rivalry.
Oh,
you're sitting here saying
have you ever been to a Central Western game?
You want the real story or
the
on-camera story? I've been 3 times.
Before
Have
and
I been
after
in the
the
stadium?
game.
No.
Negative.
Okay. Dude, that is so much fun. Yes, you can you can root for your rivals when they're not playing you. As a state of Michigan man, why do I care about Nevada beating Western Michigan? If they're going to play each other, I'd rather have somebody local win. It's better for the state. It's better for local sports and everything than having Nevada win. But yeah, we still have a rivalry with Western. Just because we don't play stupid and childish games like Wolverines and Spartans doesn't mean it's not a rivalry.
I don't know, TFOS.
And I'm sure there's a bunch of Broncos I hope the Chippewas lose, but I'm not one of those Chippewas who hopes the Broncos lose when they're not playing CMU. I'm just saying. I'm in a tough spot as a state of Michigan man.
No, dude, it's because you're half Canadian. That's the Canadian mentality and everything else. Hey, while I got a quick sec, happy birthday to the one and only Mickey Redmond. Call him the doctor. Yes, those flannel shirts and the bingo bango bongo. Here we go. Whatever it is. Great dude.
Now, can Mickey
I'll be seeing him on Thursday down in Toledo for the outdoor game.
Yeah.
Now, can Mickey pretty much do anything he wants to do?
Mickey's I'm like the vice mayor. He's the real mayor. He's the mayor of Hockentown.
Second best broadcaster in the city, right?
There you go. It's just going by facts. If I read it out of Our Detroit magazine.
Bam.
Last year, anyways.
Yeah.
You just say, hey, I just work with the best. That's all.
That's what you surround yourself with the best. That's exactly what it is. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have Dan Campbell, sound Amon St. Brown. We got to talk about this guy. We do, because he's getting me excited. Even more excited than I was before. I'm fired up about it. We'll have Dan Campbell sound on Amon St. Brown. He'll talk about TB12 making a and look, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time situations in big-time games, and he made a big-time play at the end of that football game. We'll discuss all that and more. Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network.
Thank you, Detroit. Because of your generous donations, this year's Stuff a Studio was a massive success. With the help from our friends at Meyer, Guardian Alarm, and people like you, we were able to send a massive U-Haul filled with toys to Mott Children's Hospital.
I thought it was pretty cool, but more importantly, my daughter had surgery at Mott back in about 2005 for brain surgery. They did a miraculous job for her. As a matter of fact, she's graduated from Michigan State on Saturday.
Oh,
You could never tell.
Go green, right?
Thank you. And we really want to thank you. I know we're standing in front of this very large building, but when you look up, this building is full right now with a lot of sick kids that are going to be here through the holidays. And this team is amazing to make sure that they can at least smile during the holidays, and what you guys have done for us, we'll make sure that we're bringing that magic into their hospital room. So thank you so much. Thank you.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Okay, you can open them. That's a game used. Darren McCarty's pick. He used that in the game in Grand Rapids.
No, she got McCarty.
Thank you.
Want to say hi to him?
Hi, Darren.
Tell him Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Back here from the Christmas break, Big D Energy here on the Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, T-Foss, Terry Foster in the house. A good Christmas had by all there, D-Mac.
One of the best things I got for Christmas right there. Jackie always fills me up with M&Ms every time I see her. So I told her there's a lot of goals left in it, so don't be afraid to go outside and use it in the driveway if you need to. Or outside. Tammy's actually got a rink and stuff like that. So it's always well to use. It's like, Terry, I say, if you get a D-Mac jersey, if it's got mustard stain or beer stain or maybe a burn hole in it, I mean, it's authentic.
Or a few more goals.
No. It has to have spittle on it.
Spittle, yes. Yeah, there has to be some spittle. Spittle, I love that word. Spittle, boink, and schmozzle. There we go.
There it
Look
is.
at his shirt.
But we are off and running here the second hour of the show, flying by on a Monday, as it always does. Lions fall in Atlanta. Tim Boyle, the interception on what could have been a game-winning drive. But, he saved, and as it turned out, too, given the events around the NFL yesterday, it turned out to be a big, big, big loss for the Lions because, again, ideal in draft capital because it's the only thing that's obtainable right now because the playoffs are out of the question for the Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell had some things to say. And, look, Amon-Ra St. Brown, another 9-catch game yesterday. He is coming on, the 4th-round pick of Brad Holmes, and he's become the flagship, really, for my whole draft capital argument. But Dan Campbell had some thoughts on Amon-Ra St. Brown yesterday.
Look, he is improving, and there's been a lot that we put on his shoulders, these last few weeks, and because he's capable, that's why, and he is improving, and he's steady, and he's reliable, and so, yeah, he's in a great place. He's one of those guys that, as a play caller, I trust a ton, and I know the quarterbacks do too. But I would say for all those receivers, I feel that way. I feel like they've really taken strides over the last 3 to 4 weeks, and everything collectively. But, yeah, St. Brown is continuing to grow.
No, he certainly is. And Matt Carey on our YouTube chat thread says, St. Brown's coming to his own. This is what late picks do. Take some time to get the game to slow down and come to you. He has the potential to be a number 2 receiver. Feel like he was a steal in this draft. And TFOS, again, it's no secret, man. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. It's pretty easy.
Here's the significance of Amon-Ra St. Brown is if the Lions didn't get it right in the first 3 rounds, they weren't getting it right. The fact that he's a 4th-round pick shows that things are different here. When you look around the NFL and you see quality linemen, normally they're from the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds. The Lions never hit on people in the 5th or 6th or 7th round. Now they are. This is significant, and maybe this is a turnaround almost as important as your number 1 draft capital. That the fact that they can nail something in the 4th round, the guy can be productive, and so that's why we have to believe in Brad Holmes. If this guy knows what he's doing, which I think he does, then this could turn around a terrible franchise.
And that goes back, that boils it all down for me and the whole draft capital argument. Give the guy every available advantage. And is it a mathematical advantage? Yes. We're talking about, I guess, analytics and math and outcome probabilities and those types of things. But give the guy who looks like he knows what he's doing the best advantage possible in doing it. That's it.
Right.
That's it. That's my, good show, everybody. See you later.
Just do your job. And let's bring up Steve Eisman. Remember the year the Wings fans thought they were going to get the number 1 pick?
Yeah.
They ended up getting the number 4 pick, and everybody was pissed off. They screw the Wings. But what did Steve Eisman do? He said, don't worry about it. We're good. I'll select Mo Sider. And a lot of people are like, what? Who's this guy? Now it's like, damn, you can't do without him. So, yeah, you do need draft capital, but if you got somebody who's pulling the trigger, who knows what the hell they're doing, that could be even more important.
And it is. And that's where, too, with Steve Eiserman, with the Mo Sider pick, D-Mac, I talk about discounts to market with quarterbacks and things like that. What's a defenseman like Mo Sider getting in the open market, D-Mac?
Yeah, no,
so he's getting a monster number.
They're the dime a dozen, and if you look at what's going on, and I know there's no hockey, but the World Juniors are going on, and we got a lot of representative. But if you look at Irvinson, who's another defenseman, and I retweeted. I laughed because he said he can't wait to come to Detroit and play with Mo Sider so they can sit on the blue line and murder people, right? Which, not literally, but which means to be stalwarts. And honestly, to hear him say that, but I've heard that. This ain't the first time. I've been hearing this when, banging my gong saying what's coming down the pipe, and it's keep an eye out. And that little bit of insight on how a lot of us around that have played or whatever, how we communicate with each other. It's not about we allow each other to figure it out. We'll point each other in the right direction. oh, check this guy out. What do you think of this guy? What, who's doing it, and something else? Because to Terry's point exactly, who is making those decisions to get the guys? And it's not like, oh, okay, you hit on Sewell, and then, oh, not until your fourth rounder, we continue to not hit on second rounders like past regimes or third. No, guys are playing, guys are there. So Brad Holmes
Lee McNeil had a sack yesterday.
Is the guy, and they're taking up snaps and they're getting there. So to the point of who's making the decisions, no matter where they're making it, the Steve Eisman, the Brad Holmes, they have a plan. And it's not maybe the norm of what everybody else does. Look at the Red Wing organization, Kenny Holland, Russia, Sweden, before it was cool, right? Getting the guys in the late rounds, the Datsuks, the Zetterbergs, the guys, the Lidstroms, the Fedorov, the guys you never get late now, right? But there was a game plan, and then he learned that. Now Germany's the new Sweden, it seems like. So it's what his path is. Follow these people's in particular's path, because to Terry's point, then you might see what they're going to choose for. I love comparables, right? Who's this guy going to be? Who's this guy? What role is this? When I watch this Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I believe that because TJ Hawkinson getting hurt, it's availed the opportunity for him to get more looks, to get more touches. But he reminds me of Golden Tate, how he runs routes, like Golden Tate after he get the ball, right? He runs those good routes because I see his IQ, his vision, by getting the ball so wide open a lot of times, making his quarterback good. So, and these are all the things that we were hearing about him out of USC. So I'm glad that he's putting in the work to do it. 202 jugs balls a day, that'll help you.
Absolutely. Another touchdown for Western Michigan, by the way, as they have... they're looking sharp here today. Now, this is a decimated Nevada team. Nevada actually jumping back on the board right now as well. So 17-10, Western Michigan with the lead, 11:15 to play in the second quarter. Just down the road, about 15 minutes from here at Ford Field in the Quick Lane Bowl. But we're talking Detroit Lions and Amon-Ra St. Brown and what he's provided. Don Burr says this is why the Trinity Benson trade was a no-go. Gave up 2 late picks for him. I think they just gave up 1. They swapped picks with Denver on one of them and then gave Denver 1. And I would say this, and this is where, look, you're not going to bat 1,000. You're not. And I would say they saw something that they might have liked in him. Didn't work out. But you know what the fallout from that, Terry? It's a lot like what we talked about with the Brashad Perriman thing. You know what the fallout is? You send him on his way and it's over. Right. There's no long-term commitment. There's no lasting impact. This isn't a Trey Flowers situation. There's not, a $13 million escape hatch to get out of it. You take a swing, you miss, you walk back to the dugout, you come back up to bat again. And that's what I like, is a bit of control gambles. And we saw this, I think, with Steve Yzerman, with what he did with Nick Leddy, where you get, you have a 30-year-old defenseman making $7 million. That's not an Yzerman contract that he's going to put out there, but it's over after this year. He can reassess. If this is somebody we want to take a look at, we can try to move forward with him. If not, hey, we move on.
Yeah, and hockey's a different beast, too. When you have guys like that are the buffer players, is that you never know at trade deadline if you're in, if you're out, if they can be an asset that you can
flip.
But you can flip, so not only are you making that initial deal, but also at the deadline you can get more out for this guy. And then you never know, because the beauty in hockey or in free agency, you can always come back. So, it all depends on what you're building. And I think that a lot of things are different too because of the salary cap, because of draft capital, and man, that's why do you look at whatever GM, the guy pulling the triggers, guy making the end of the day decisions, do you like them running whatever organization it is in professional sports or in minor sports? Because that's where it has to stop. That's where it has to be, and everybody has to buy into that person's vision.
Lions Rumble on our YouTube chat thread says, I give up Hawkinson right now for 2 draft picks, but I think TFOS, I don't think Hawkinson would get you 2 draft picks at this point.
No, he wouldn't. We overvalue the talent here. But you can get something for him. Maybe you can get 1 draft pick, and maybe he's talking about 2 lower draft picks, but you could get something for Hockenson because now you have to make the decision. Do you want to pay him $14-15 million a year? He's not worth it.
As of right now, he's not, man. And for me, too, and we talked about this on the show on Thursday, and I talked about it yesterday on the Lions pregame show. And again, we're not there yet, so don't take this for more than what it is. As it stands right now, TFOS, DeAndre Swift's on that TJ Hockenson highway. And Hawkinson's a couple exits further down the road than Swift is. But Swift's on 675 too, trying to go around the Milwaukee Bridge too right now.
No, he is. And the thing is, I think Swift is a very talented guy, but the problem is injuries. And in this league today, you can get away with having lesser talent, and they can be very productive in the National Football League. So you have to look at Swift. Okay, when he starts to make his big bank, he's out of here.
And again, these aren't like eminent issues or anything like that. But going back to what DMAC has, and DMAC really opened my eyes to this too about Steve Yzerman, about the board and the contracts. And you're looking 5 years down the road. You're looking 3 years down the road. Like, you're not just showing up for work today saying, "Hey, what do we feel like? Anybody bring donuts?" Like, it's not. It's
well,
not.
There
like
is that too.
There is that too.
But,
yes,
but it's also too. You're eating your donut, drinking your coffee, looking at the board.
But you're looking at the board, and there is a 5-year window that's on this board.
The greatest analogy to that is I'll go back to Red Dead Redemption or any video game, is when the map is revealed to you as the mission goes, so you can't get in certain parts of the map. It's all, might be foggy and you only hear. Well, you know what? The best of the best clear that fog out and have their game plan down the road. So they're not surprised. It's not like something's going to come up and surprise them as far as they're gonna do their due diligence. They're gonna put the work in because they've been there. They know what it takes. So that's the best analogy to that. Guys, it doesn't matter if we're talking about football players, hockey players, or even you out there. You heard of Northwestern Tech? You can start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry, especially like days like today. Wow, that was a doozy to wake up to. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu. TFOS, Neil Rule, DMAC, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Be right back.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Another touchdown for the Western Michigan Broncos. Extra point away from going up 24-10 over Nevada in the Quick Lane Bowl. Neil Rule, DMAC, Darren McCarty, TFOS, Terry Foster in the house. And I do have a quick question for you. We're talking a lot of football. We're going to get to around the NFL, kind of expand that out a little bit. But was anybody else shocked when they woke up this morning and saw there were 4 inches of snow on the ground? I had no idea that was supposed to go on. I knew nothing about it. And I usually have a routine in the morning that I like to do where, I get up, have some coffee, drive in, stop at Planet Fitness, get the workout in, come over here to the studio, post up, as you know, out there at the Iowa. That's where all the brilliance happens, DMAC, where you and I kick it back and forth. Yeah, yep. We kick it back and forth.
Kicking it.
Did any of you guys know this? TFOS, were you aware this was going to happen? I had no idea.
I knew it was coming, but I was still shocked when I saw it. I kind of forgot about it. I said, wait, where's this snow come from? But this was supposed to happen Christmas Day. You get your white Christmas, and then by today, when we're going out, going to work,
getting
or
back
going to
life.
the mall and everything, the streets are clear. This is the way it's supposed to be.
You had no idea, D-Mac. I had no idea.
Didn't. I woke up and went, wow. And to your point, I'm glad I live so close.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't that bad. But still the side streets and stuff coming out of the neighborhoods and even around. And I was talking to the girls in the Birmingham Roast. Shout out to them, and they're great job and food that they provide. But it's the fact that the first snows or the first ones, when it first happens, everybody forgets no matter what how to drive. I think I was watching Kelly Rowe and Fox 2, and I think she said she had her eye on like 19 different accidents at one point, all out. So you just hope everybody's safe. And like you said, Terry, the best part is hopefully that by the time we get out of here, it ain't that bad.
Yeah, that's true. But, I don't think people forget how to drive. I think people still, when it snows for that first time, they say, I'm still a boss. I can do whatever I want. And then you're out there, so, okay, maybe I can't. Maybe I have to slow up a little bit. But, people got their big trucks and they got their big tires with all kinds of treads on it. So you want to drive like it's 80 degrees and a clear pavement. And then for a few minutes, that's what you try to do. And then you got to back down at some point. But there's some people that say, forget it, I'm just going to drive like I feel like it.
Well, Sawyer Sawyer lives in Fenton, so he comes down I-75 to get here towards the Birmingham compound. And Sawyer's a big fan of the pickup truck guy. Pickup truck guy with the huge tires like you were talking about, TFOS, and probably has a goatee and stuff like that because he's going 75. He doesn't care how much snow's on the ground.
Does not care about the weather.
5,
There's
6.
always one guaranteed. Saw him today going to work. Dirk's Bentley blaring out the side windows. Minimum at 80 miles per hour at all times. Just doesn't care who you are, where you're going. He has to get where he's going. It's horrible.
And this might be mean. I am so gleeful when they end up in the ditch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just karma.
I'm just like celebrating, like, yes.
Yeah,
you jerk.
Be nice, people.
And we are getting the traffic updates right now on the YouTube chat thread, which is great. E. Schaffer says I just came from Rochester Road and it's fine. And yeah, it was trending as fine. The closer I got to here, the better I saw it get. And as I look out right now here on Woodward, like everything looks like it's pretty much up and in working order. But that didn't help me this morning. But before they were lining up all into that, I would have adjusted. I would have woke up a little bit earlier. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's on me, right? Like. I can be mad about it, but that's on me because I always check the weather, like the night before. I just want to know what I'm walking into.
It was a dump in the middle of the night for the first few hours to everybody else, because even it wasn't bad till like 4 or 5, right?
Yeah.
And then they're saying that's the one thing over in Kalamazoo. They're saying that it's cool to have a snow with a thunderstorm. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've had some rumble snow or whatever it is, some snow thunder.
Just 2 days late to your point, TFOS. Supposed to be here on Christmas, but better late than never or not.
David Mentier says Sawyer definitely seems like a Fenton guy. You do, Sawyer. Low key.
Yeah, can I ask what that means?
Yeah,
I don't know. Because I'm from there, so
some of the greatest.
Fenton is not
some
that.
of the greatest
No,
offensive
wait a minute. Hang on. Fenton
ever.
has some hoity-toity spots. Don't be, hey, Troy. Don't be acting like you all big and bad and everything. Fenton has a cute little downtown. They have some little sandwich shops that are cute and everything. It's not that bad. It's not. Everybody's up there is not a trucker with their flannel on.
Sorry, but yeah, you wear a flannel. You got the beard. You like outdoor activities.
I do enjoy some outdoor activities every once in a while.
You like to be one with nature. Yeah, you like to play Settlers of Catan.
Dude, he likes outdoor activities, and he brings outdoor activities to his board game. Yeah. That's how much he likes it.
Here's how badass Fenton is. One of the better restaurants is called Crust. Now, am I lying, Sawyer?
No, you are not lying.
Okay, Crust.
It's a real good bakery. Really good.
Yeah, it is.
Real good.
Do you get a good pot pie from there?
I would hope.
No, it's more like muffins, and they do have like really good like specialty grilled cheeses, the one where they put the apple in there. With
and you get a little sandwich, little ladyfinger sandwiches and everything. So Fenton is not that bad.
Oh, like the Drake Hotel. The ladyfinger sandwiches.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Remember those? You'd be at tea time at the Drake?
Yes, sir.
Dom Rivera says Fenton is really nice in town. And it is. Like, it's a nice area. There's good lakes there.
Good golf courses.
Good golf Coyote Preserves up by there.
I used to be a greenskeeper there.
But you did? What?
I used to be a greenskeeper at the Coyote Preserve.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. What year did you stop?
Stopped as going into college. I worked there throughout college too. So I think I stopped like 2019.
Yeah, no, that's when they got really good.
Oh no! Whoa! When I was there, we were the number 6 public course in Detroit.
Oh, look at Hornblower!
Greens facts. 3 through 14 were the best on the course. Those were my greens.
If you're into facts.
Yeah, who am I to? That
I'm
was
just
good,
saying.
though.
So let them know, Sawyer.
It was good time.
That's what it is.
That's not what we think, Sawyer.
It's
That's what we know.
It was
There's
up there.
documents you can point to.
Yeah, we had it pinned up in the maintenance shack. Up
As
there,
you
a little
should.
article.
Pride.
So the discussion right now is crust is way overpriced. That's why I love our audience,
seeing
man. That's why I love our. They'll take anything and run with it.
Yeah, but you got to make some bank in life sometimes for crust. Crust is not that expensive.
Yeah, I'll pay for it.
Sandwiches do cost a pretty penny. But you know what? It's not as expensive as Zingerman's. We all go to Zingerman's in Ann Arbor, and those sandwiches are an arm and a leg. I'm telling you.
Honolulu Blue Sparty. Sawyer reps the state well. Most of the state loves big trucks and outdoor fun. Real men grow beard. See, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe Honolulu Blue Sparty can scoop you up in his Ram 1500 with the shocks and riding up really high and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I got to turn the light bar on that's above the windshield.
KC light bar that's on the top of it?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. French Tammy Chin, I love crust. French toast is amazing. So there you go. It's getting a lot of love there. So I just figured that we would dabble in that. I knew it would turn into that. That's the way Sawyer is.
Oh yeah,
I get it.
I knew one place though. I got to shout out real quick. Fenton Winery and Brewery. If you're ever in Fenton and you want some great pizza and some delicious beer and wine, if you're into that, they've got
but
it
you're
there.
not though.
You're
too much of a man for wine. Right?
Well, no, I'll drink the wine. They have some really good wine, but I like the beer.
Now, do you go to the penalty box?
I have been there before,
Okay,
yeah, but
because that's
haven't been there in a while.
Red Wing related. Dave Lewis and is Joey Koser involved in that?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but TFOS, I think you and I are more penalty box kind of people than the Fenton Winery and Brewery. I think you and I would do well in the penalty box bar.
I don't know. They're opening a distillery, Fenton Winery and Brewery. It's an add-on.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they're trying to get to the Neil Rules of the world.
The bourbon action, the bourbon and the vodka.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's a good move.
Let me know when they want to get to the Darren McCarty's of the world.
Oh,
that's
boy.
Another room add-on.
Alliance Rumble 81, $25 for a sandwich. A little mind blown. It's not $25 for a sandwich.
No, it is not $25. Is you talking about crust?
No, Zingerman's.
No, Zingerman's is not $25. It was $16
for a sandwich.
They just got them stadium prices.
No, Zingerman is like $14, $16 for a sandwich. But you go to a little deli down here in Southfield. It's still going to be like $14 for a sandwich. Yep. Now they pile it high, but sandwiches are getting expensive.
They are. Matt Carrier says the brewery is the best. Fenton's getting a lot of love right now, man. People got Fenton's back in here.
I see some love for Cancun, the local Mexican restaurant in Fenton too. Place is amazing. Sagebrush as well. Like Fenton's popping. You guys might have to just move there. It's a great time,
man. I guess so.
Hey, you know what? We could bring Fenton right here to Big D Energy. Bring them all down. Let's try it all in. The chow, eat all of it. Whatever
as long as I get to go to the penalty box with Tifa. Again, I think you and I would do very well there.
Do well, and let's get one of those tables by the TVs, and we'll be good.
If you've never been out to a bar with TFOS before, we did Lions pregame for the Monday night game. I think it was. It might have been. I can't remember which game it was. But you and I, we weren't there for a long time, TFOS, but we were there for a good time.
Absolutely. That's the way it's supposed to be.
We could do a Fenton bar night. There's like 3 bars in Fenton that are owned by the same person, so there's a little bus that drives around. It does like a bar crawl for free.
It's like a people mover.
All different kind of bars, or like one sports bar, one Irish pub, or what?
Yeah, one's called the Barn, which is like a sports bar, and they have like a hockey rink out back and like a curling rink right now because it's wintertime. The other one's called like Planks, or like Planks on the Water, which is just like a winter or like outdoor water bar. And then I don't know where the other one is. I think it's like the Fenton Lodge. But Fenton bar night.
Listen, all I know is if anybody's planning on doing that, going out for anything else, gentlemen, what you need to do:
get dapped up.
Get dapped up for show, and the best place to do it. Because, guys, we all love football, sports, whatever else. So why wouldn't you want to go and get your grooming done where you can watch TV and not get yelled at? Yes, that is Lady Jane's haircut for men, for the uncomplicated gentleman. Walk in, sign in, sit down. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean and ready for the Fenton Pub Crawl. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Neil Rule, Terry Foster, D-Mac, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. See you in a minute.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning, Joy.
It's Woodward Sports.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Big D Energy brought to you by the city of Fenton, apparently. He's D-Mac, Darren McCarty, TFOS, Terry Foster is in the house. The future mayor of Fenton, of course, he is. Sawyer is in the production booth. We got Sam over there in the bowl as well. So happy to have you all along with us. I know a lot of you got the day off work today. Really appreciate you tapping in. You guys are a great audience, man. I mean that for real. The fans of this station and this network here are certainly built a little different than the fans of some other networks and stations around town.
Thank goodness. Do you think the talent's built a little different too?
I'm not going to comment on that. I think the people speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's all as I'm saying, everybody. Do have to go around the NFL, get you caught up with everything that happened. Plus, we get to see the cool little graphic. I can't remember. Were there any shutouts today? Are we getting the 0-0 at all? I don't think anybody got shut out. No, they did not. Damn. What happened to
Tom Brady got shut out the week before.
Yeah, yes, he did. Yes, he did get shut out. As long as it's the Saints, he's got some issues, no question. But the one thing that's going to jump out to me, gentlemen, is we're back on the Joe Burrow hype train now because he throws for 5 Bills plus against Baltimore. Granted, it was a depleted Baltimore defense. But the Ravens defensive coordinator there, Wink Martindale, said, I loved his quote about not double or triple teaming Jamar Chase like they did Devontae Adams. Adams is one of the top 2 receivers in the league, and he's not number 2. Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and I don't think we're ready to buy a gold jacket for Joe Burrow. And then Joe Burrow goes out, D-Mac, and hangs 500 on Baltimore, and they blow them out. And bigger than that, they take the lead in the division. They're the 3 seed in the AFC right now.
It's crazy, the ups and downs, but, the maturity, and I love the post-game press conference where somebody asked Joe Burrow, did the defensive coordinator's comments affect the way you're playing or at the end or whatever? And he says, maybe. It was just a flat, it was just the transparency of it and the motivation, but this is what we've come to expect out of Joe Burrow from back in his LSU days. The competitor, the quiet competitor, the silent assassin, the guy that's he reminds me of the person that you're going to talk down to him and he doesn't hear the noise. He's going to look around and how big, like you're talking about both things can be true. Falling in the draft, where you pick and stuff like this. But both Cincinnati passing on Penei Sewell so we could get him and taking Jamar Chase, they realized that was more important. Joe Burrow said, no, I got to get this ball out. I'll worry about staying upright. I don't need defended like that. I need my boy. Jamar Chase comes out, proving it. Those guys are balling out. So I think that they're a little bit of up and down, inconsistent, but they're dangerous. I don't think
many
teams want to play them.
They're supposed to be.
But
it also goes back to how coaches and athletes can't always tell the truth in sports. It comes back to haunt you if you just say the truth. You're not going to put a gold jacket on Joe Burrow yet. And he just said it, man. It comes back to bite him, and everybody's. But you can't tell the truth in sports.
No,
which we would all agree, of course, Wink. He's just second year in the league. He's been hurt, whatever. You're not going to put the gold jacket on him, but just, it just adds blackboard material.
But, it's just disrespectful and all this crap.
No, it was. How about you, T-Foss? Anything jump out to you?
My favorite word in the world in sports is mollywop. And we saw mollywops the Washington football team and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, those games were not even competitive. I'm not going to include Tampa because I don't care. You know, I don't think Carolina's a real team. So yeah, they won 32-6. But I mean, just to see those teams get thrashed that way,
to the point where Washington football team was fighting each other, as you're seeing on the YouTube channel right now.
Right. But I've always been told, do not pay close attention to fights on the sidelines during an NFL game. It happens 5 to 6 times a game. It all depends on if the cameras catch it or not.
What about, and D-Mac, I always defer to you. What's the best in-team fight you ever saw?
He ain't gonna tell us.
Yes, no. I mean, everybody's seen the one is that Proby had enough with Keith Primo my first year, and then but the funniest part is watching these two guys go at it, and Primo was hanging in there, but Proby was getting mad, and then it was gonna take it. But you got Barry Smith, all 5'8" of them, trying to 160 pounds, trying to break him up. So I had to go and grab Proby, which isn't a very when he's flipped out, that's not a good.
You hate
that's
your
not
spot.
A good,
Admit
well,
it.
I didn't like my spot a lot, right? Because you got to talk him back into reality. But yeah, he was mad. That's probably and a lot of times with what you're saying, Terry, is that things that go on in the dressing room, and a lot of them are in your face, like FU fights, and different things like this, accountability and stuff like that. But it usually is a blowout to where it is for the purpose. Sometimes it's a couple veteran guys going at it, and we learn this to get some of us younger guys get our heads out of our butts. So there's a means to as long as everybody's on the same page, right? And that goes to where do you have pure intentions and you're all pulling the rope to the same goal.
Right. For me, too, it was the Chargers losing in Houston. Turns out, TFOS, the Chargers aren't quite ready yet. And I know that we were ready to anoint Justin Herbert, and he was the next big thing. He was the next great quarterback. And I think that's a true test. And it is hard for a young team, and it is hard for a young quarterback. It's hard to win on the road, TFOS. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care if you're going to Detroit. I don't care if you're going to Houston, Jacksonville, the Jets, wherever. When you're a young player, it's hard to win on the road. That takes a minute.
It is. And then the other thing is when you're a team that thinks it's on the verge, there's always a setback. You always bump your head on the ceiling, and it's like, damn, we can't go any further. But then you have to figure out how to get beyond that. And I think that's what the Chargers are going through. The Cleveland Browns have gone through that. The Red Wings went through that. Pistons went through that. You keep ascending, and then all of a sudden it's like, damn, what was that? You get a jolt, and then you take it one of two ways. The jolt jolts you so bad that you never overcome, or it's like it wakes you up, and it's like, okay, we got to work harder, or we got to do things better, or we have to be better organized, we have to be better teammates, and if you figure that out, then you get through that wall and become a champion. Or champion contender.
It's a glue. I mean, very little time do you sustain success without adversity, right? We had to go through it. I always say that. Yeah, if we would have beat Jersey back in '95, sure, we would have probably won another cup somewhere, or maybe even more. But the lessons we learned propelled us for 4 cups. And just the lessons that we learned about climbing the hill. Like, that's the whole thing I say, let's take the Red Wings, right? Not easy to watch the past few years with a few guys waiting for different guys to come into their own. Now you got another level, which we are now, where everybody goes, oh, wow, we see where we're going. Well, there's a whole nother level, too, and that's called the suck. When you're good enough to get there and you are Green Bay, right? You're Green Bay in football. Conference finals locked, but can't get by it. So, there's a different way. And to Terry's point, that the better teams, sometimes teams don't find that way because what happens? Their nucleus and who they put all their money in and everybody for that 5-10 year plan fizzles out, and they don't. Go back through history. There's a lot more guys and a lot more groups that don't make it. I look back and you look at the cores of the St. Louis teams, the Chicago teams that we played against that were great teams that never got anywhere because they had to run into us.
Right.
And there's this thing called mental toughness. And some teams just never get it. And, a devastating loss to a bad team can shock the entire organization, where you have self-doubt, where you're like, damn, I thought I was a badass, but I guess I'm not. And if you never become that badass, then guess what? A team like Jacksonville or the Texans can just throw you so far off your game you never recover.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful about that.
Absolutely. On our YouTube chat thread, Dom Rivera says, a great group of people that watch this show every single day. We appreciate you tapping in, too, to Big D Energy. Also, to Detroit Haber says, this is an odd bunch that watches this show, and I love it. And you guys are great, man. Like, you guys can carry a topic just as good as any show host can. It's really incredible that I can just randomly bring up Fenton, and it's a whole show segment. That's crazy to me, but that's how you people roll, man. And I do love it. The thing for me, and as we're wrapping up this discussion on the NFL TFOS, Russell Wilson looks like, as Drake would say, OVA. As far as the Seattle Seahawks are going right now. He has, after this season, 2 years and $51 million left on his contract, but he is going to be 34 next year. It's about time, right, for Seattle to take that look. And I think the one thing that the Seahawks have going for them is you look at what the Rams did with Matt Stafford, and I think you're going to see this perpetuated, too, because there's going to be an Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes next year.
Oh, yeah, and here's the dangerous thing. The Lion fans are waiting for Aaron Rodgers to get the hell out of Green Bay. Fine. But you know who could replace him? It could be a guy like Wilson. Russell Wilson could do that. And the reason is he has to go to a team that's ready-made or a team that feels they're ready to win right now because his contract is so huge. But see, he's got to replace another quarterback with a large salary with his large salary. That's why I just think it doesn't make sense for him. He wouldn't. First of all, he wouldn't want to come to the Lions. It doesn't make sense for him to come to the Lions. And but I could see him being in a place like Green Bay, replacing Aaron Rodgers wherever he might go.
Do you think he's got some left in the tank, or is it the consistency of lack of consistency that he's shown? I mean,
I think it's the cocktail right now, D-Mac. It's where he is age-wise. It's where he is with what he's accomplished in his career. It's where Seattle is right now as a roster. It's all those things where sometimes stuff just runs its course, man.
Or you need a change of scenery. Now, he may not be as bad as he's showing. It could be a situation where you have to understand Seattle was a place where first they didn't believe in him a few years ago. Then he showed that he was good. Now he may not believe in the roster that's around him, so things kind of reverse. So he may have to go somewhere else where a roster believes in him and he believes in the roster. So that's why I'm saying that he could end up in a spot like Green Bay and Seattle. Maybe he's run his course, and it's not going to work out there, but it could work somewhere else.
Yeah, it just seems like that's a feeling I'm getting, and obviously I don't know this. I'm not a Seahawks insider. I'm not around any of it. But it has that feeling, TFOS, where it's just run its course. And there's nothing wrong with that. They had a great run. Right. They cashed in. It just ran its course, man.
And I think that I see a lot of speculation on where Terry brought up Green Bay, Carolina, Matt Rule, but I think, Neil, you and I are on the same page as some of the people here. Isn't he set up for a Sean Payton offense with Alvin Kamara, that sort of play, like the Drew? To me, Russell Wilson, yeah, he's got that arm, but the ability, he needs somebody to match him. And to your point, that Pete Carroll, all that stuff, they did great things, Legion of Boom and stuff like this, but how long ago was that? How long ago was that? 8 years, 10 years time? Everybody might need a reflux. So I guess the conversation is who replaces him in Seattle.
Right. And, because just looking like where they are roster-wise, that looks like they've turned the corner now. It's time to have a draft capital.
So I wouldn't be surprised that it goes.
Absolutely.
And Pete Carroll, everybody implode it, whatever, start over.
It's just time to start valuing draft capital.
But think about and just because of get on this. but man, wouldn't you just die to be Seattle, like for their history to even to win and lose at
sure, because I've gone through my whole life
right.
And they've
that's
never
what
won.
I'm saying, and then to be able to go through this is sort of like what we're seeing with Seattle, sort of what we see the last hurrah of the Red Wings back in the late the early teams or whatever like this before Chicago and Tampa ended up owning them. So
yeah, I would agree though. The Saints, that reeks of the Saints.
I would like to see the Saints.
The Saints are pretty turnkey defensively, as they've shown Tom Brady, TFOS. The Saints are pretty turnkey defensively. They're ready to roll. Their problem is, and I scratch my head when they did it. I scratch my head when I watch it now. This whole Taysom Hill 4-year, $40 million contract thing. What were they doing?
I don't know. Pitchers?
I never figured that out.
What were they doing? I mean, it's not murderous as far as being able to get out of it.
Gimmicks don't work in the NFL.
No.
And if they do, they work for a very short period of time.
Yeah. I mean, like next year, if you wanted to get rid of Taysom Hill, it cost you $19 million on a cap hit. Like, admit it, you hate your spot.
Oh.
Dude's 32 as well, man. Like, I don't get it. We'll take a break. When we come back, we certainly will take a look at this COVID situation. My heart was broken on Christmas Eve. I want to know what the guys got for Christmas too. So we'll discuss that, all that, and more. This is Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, TFOS coming down the stretch here on a Monday of Big D Energy. We got shows for you. You're in
James
all
edition.
week, right? You're in with me?
Except Thursday. Thursday I will be in Toledo all day for the Outdoor Winter Classic starting at noon. I'm coaching the firefighters versus the police, and at 6 o'clock the alumni is playing. We got a pretty good alumni roster.
Yeah,
too,
what's the squad looking like for that?
You know what? I'll update. We'll get a little hockey talk tomorrow. I will crack out the roster, and it's a good one. It's a good Red Wing alumni, NHL alumni roster.
Very strong.
Which means there's young guys in there where I can cruise around and whatever, and I can yell at a couple of these guys to lug the mail and go chase around with the younger guys. It's always good.
Maybe we'll have to get TFOS
And I'll give you
back in
tomorrow.
on Thursday.
Here's a tease. And tomorrow I will give you my favorite face-off conversation that I have with amateurs.
There you go.
If you remind me.
I forgot too. We got story time with TFOS. Let's do that at 50 past the hour.
Okay,
TFOS.
I'm
Come
ready.
back from the next break. It'll be story time with TFOS. Get you in Thursday then, TFOS.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to have the official word.
Can you come in Thursday and take my spot?
I can.
There you go. All right. So we got
If you have me.
D-Mac and myself tomorrow and Wednesday. TFOS and I on Thursday. We will be off New Year's Eve. I know the bottom line will be doing lots of Michigan, Georgia prep
And that's the
on New
bottom
Year's
line.
Eve. Yep. So they will have that. They'll have all your coverage as far as that goes. We'll talk a lot of Michigan, Georgia, I think, on the show on Thursday as well. I do have a critical question for the Michigan fans out there because I want it set in stone. Is it good enough to get there, or are you hungry for more? And that's going to be the crux of the discussion on Thursday. So we'll get to that, though. Also, too, these are always fun, right? And this is just real quick. We'll just spend a couple of seconds on this one. Pistons writer sent out a tweet yesterday, my guy Duncan Smith. The old name generator. Use your NBA name. Discover your NBA name using your initials. And I did all the math and came up with mine, Kobe Carter, which instantly I think I'm going to change my name to that for real. We did it for D-Mac as well. And D-Mac, Rodney Love.
Now here's the thing, Neil. You popped me this morning when you gave me the intro, but since you being the basketball guy, right? So Kobe Carter behind the mic he's the play-by-play guy. How would he introduce? I want to see how you'd introduce us. So, Rodney Love. How would you introduce Rodney Love? I mean, because I told you I go for 5 and 15 and foul out in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this would be a G League broadcast. I think that's where I think that's where Rodney Love would be.
Ooh, yes.
In the G League. Now, here's a deal with Rodney Love, everybody. He's out of prep school in Ontario, the Hamilton Preparatory Academy in Ontario. And here's the book. Look, we all know he was drafted on upside. That's really where we were with Rodney Love. Now, he's a converted hockey player, very athletic. Admits he still doesn't know all the rules, and therefore that's why he fouls out in the first half of pretty much every game. But if Rodney Love can ever put it together, I think you're looking at somebody who can fulfill an NBA roster.
Dude, that's the best. That's the best basketball thing that'll ever come out of me. 3-inch vertical. And
well, you said you admitted yourself you don't know all the rules, right?
I don't know all the rules. That's why I got you here. Well, this is what. Okay, how about Terry? What's Terry's?
What was if you could throw that one back up there for me there.
Now I don't know how I ended up, but I am Tyreek Moon.
Tyreek Moon. That's right. There we go.
Reek.
That's right. We got Tyreek with the T.
Just call me Reek.
And Foss with the Moon. Tyreek Moon, or Reek Moon, as he's known.
Oh, my gosh. Does
he
have
public
hops?
school product here in Detroit. Very solid all the way around. Can defend you, can post you, can score you. Super athletic. The question is the consistency on the jump shot. Is it an NBA jump shot, Terry? When he's more talented, he can get by you, and that works in college. But can he deliver day after day, time after time against NBA-level competition?
I'll take that.
I'm taking
Mr. Reek, we will figure it out.
I'm taking him. I'm drafting him out of that protege. How about Sawyer?
Yeah, what were you, Sawyer?
Let's dig it up.
Like Kobe Carter, laziest player in America.
You always say, yeah, I'm the laziest guy in America.
Absolutely. Talented but lazy. I need that shirt. Talented but lazy.
I am Kwame Neal.
Kwame Neal.
Kwame Neal. Oh. That sounds like a prototypical 12th man on an NBA bench. Kwame Neal.
Right out of Fenton.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right out of
Fenton High School. He got by because he played in the Fenton League up there. Who's in the league with Fenton? What high school league is that?
Oh, that is the Metro League. So it's like Fenton, Linden, Clio, Swartz Creek, Flushing.
Oh, he got 30 and 10 every game in high school because he played no competition whatsoever, and he just stuck around. He went Power 5 based on gaudy high school numbers.
Yep.
He was a late second-round draft pick. He always fits the salary cap. That's why he's there. He's got size. He lumbers out there on the floor. He's got a lot of size. But he's carved out a nice career, TFOS. He's been in the league for 12 years.
You forgot one thing. He's overpaid, too.
He's all the way overpaid.
Right.
Yeah. But TFOS, he's been in the league 12 years, and he's played a combined 110 minutes in 12 years.
Wow. I thought Swartz Creek was supposed to be pretty good.
I mean, they were decent. I mean, we were always horrible at basketball. But, I mean, they were decent. Fenton was always the best, I'm pretty sure.
All right, how about the young European talent that we don't know much from across the pond? Sam, what would your name be? He's a newcomer from across the pond.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, my name isn't very European in this one. I am Kwame Carter.
Kwame Carter.
Whoa.
He sounds like a draft bust. Like Kwame Carter had the whole world figured out. He was a number 3 overall pick. And everyone expected the world of Kwame Carter. And you know what? He just didn't deliver.
I mean, you don't want to be a Kwame, who's one of the most famous draft busts of all time.
That is true.
Yeah, Kwame Brown.
Yeah.
Let me say this. I have a problem with white guys named Kwame. That doesn't work. You can't do it. That's not your name.
And you know what? What a great segue. Just because of the letters, Happy Kwanzaa to everybody out there.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah, I learning about the candles and the different days. It's awesome. So there you go, Kwame. Bust. He just darkoed you.
He did.
You just darkoed him.
So there it is. Those are always fun. I just like to hear the name and just kind of figure out. Sawyer's character is really Sawyer's NBA name really seems to be the one that everyone's latching on. 110 minutes played in his career.
Let's go.
And you look up and he's made $22 million.
Yup.
And even he doesn't know how.
Yeah. I'm
But
just
he's spending
taking
that
plays
money.
out of James Franklin's playbook, you know? Highway bank robbery, baby.
James Franklin, Taysom Hill.
Are you going to do an Al
whatever you got.
Kaline and return some of that money? No, I don't think so.
No, he's not. He's gonna build a palatial estate in Fenton. Like when you drive past it, it has no earthly business being there. This huge house on Lake Fenton, and that'll be him. That'll be Sawyer.
Yeah.
Good
Sounds
for you.
good to me, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy I did it, you know?
Yeah, good for you, man. Like veteran teams always trade for you at the NBA deadline because your contract helps them get the superstar they need to get over the top.
How many years has he played? 110 minutes.
110 minutes in 12 years.
In
12
years.
He's been on 9 different teams.
Oh, I was going to say 14 different teams.
He's got to be the human victory cigar, too.
Absolutely.
And you know what we call you in hockey? Suitcase. Sorry, Mike Sillinger and Brian Smolinski. Those are their nicknames.
So there you have it. So hey, look, story time with TFOS is coming up next.
But you know what, though? Regardless of whatever your basketball name is, if you played, Guardian Alarm get it. They get it. They protect your home, even if you were a guy that only played 110 minutes in the game. A good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm, state-of-the-art technology right here, helps you feel safe. All with 24/7 monitoring. Lock, unlock your house. You know, your lights, your temperatures, the smoke in case it's on fire, and even that deadly silent killer carbon monoxide. Yes, it'll let you know. So if you want to be part of the Woodward Sports Big D Energy family, you too can get down with Guardian Alarm, but I need you to call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Oh, that was sick. 1-800-STAY-OUT. Oh, this is a good week. Get it into you. The boys are on it. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Get out of my house.
Get out of Sam's house. That's it. He ain't even messing around. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Stay tuned for story time. Yeah, with TFOS, Big D Energy. Be right back.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Pros know. Go! Listen Monday through Friday for Big D Energy live on the Woodward Sports Network with Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the silky voice of Neil Rule.
Final segment of the show here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, T-Foss in the house. D-Mac and I the next 2 days, T-Foss and I on Thursday, taking you into the new year. And, you know, we promised it, and it really has become a staple of when this man is here in studio with us. I've always referred to him as a godfather of Detroit sports media, the icon. And there is no more iconic moment for the icon than when Uncle Terry Foster sits us down for story time. T-Foss,
all right,
if
kids,
you would.
Kids, let's go back to 1997.
Ooh, good year.
How I
Great
almost
vintage.
missed the Rose Bowl. And that was a memorable Rose Bowl because that was the Rose Bowl that Michigan won the national championship. So I was hanging out in Santa Monica the day before the game, or New Year's Eve. And I go into this bar in Santa Monica near the pier. It's about 2 blocks away. And there's some cutie pies. It's like 5 cutie pies at a table. And so I started talking to them, and I noticed a couple of them had British accents. And they said, would you celebrate I can't do a British accent, would you celebrate Britain's New Year with me? I'm like, sure. So what time is that? It was like, I think it was like 3 p.m.
7.
West Coast time.
Oh, yeah.
So
2 p.m.
We had 2 p.m. So we had to do shots and bring in the new year. We did the whole thing. And so we're throwing up champagne bottles and we're doing champagne bottles. So we're blasted at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, like the sun is out and everything. But Happy New Year to all the Britners. So then I said, well, I am on East Coast time. They said, well, we're going to celebrate. So we celebrated at 6 o'clock the East Coast time New Year's. So we did the whole thing again, got some champagne.
More shots,
and we're really jacked up. Like, I'm shoring my speech, and I'm trying to talk to you girls, and these girls are messed up too. So I say we're in California. Hey, we got to celebrate New Year's Eve. So at midnight, California time, we do the same thing, and by then I'm like, I don't know my name. I just know I'm with 5 cutie pies. I think by then it was only 4 cutie pies. So so we celebrate the New Year's again and blah blah blah. And then I told him I had to excuse myself because I was supposed to have I had a rendezvous with Dennis Rodman. We're going to play pool. So I said, I'm coming back. Don't go away. And they said, oh, no, we'll still be here. So I go and play pool with Dennis Rodman. And we had a couple drinks and stuff. I don't think he drank, though. He had some cranberry juice or something. So by now, I'm like, you know, shooting the ball the wrong side and everything. So I'm jacked up. So I go back to the same bar. The cutie pies is still there. And one of them said, let's celebrate Hawaii's New Year. I'm like, no way, because that's like 6 in the morning. I said, no, we can't do that, but we can do this, because one of them said, well, we don't really have a place to stay. I said, yes, you do. My hotel room. You can say that. So I bring all the cutie pies in my rental car. We're driving through Santa Monica, and we have to go through by LAX airport, and we're just kind of barely making it. Did not get stopped, which is great, but 4 of the 5 cutie pies made it to my room, so I got them bathrobes, and we took little showers and everything, and we had a good time. But we did not do the Hawaiian New Year's. So that was my New Year's 1997. Now, the problem was I woke up like at 9 in the morning. It takes a while to get to Pasadena. I had the most horrible hangover that you can imagine.
Wonder why.
Yeah, I know. But I said
shots of champagne all day.
But here's
12 hours.
But here's the tough part: was leaving the cutie pies. I had to leave the cutie pies in my room to go to the Rose Bowl.
Always tough to leave cutie pies and tay-tays.
Yeah. So that was my 1997. I did make it to the Rose Bowl. I got to the stadium like an hour before kickoff, which was amazing because LA traffic is ridiculous. So that was how I almost missed the 1997 Rose Bowl.
I took 2 things from that, right? Subtle Dennis Rodman drop, and also 2, chivalry is not dead, ladies. TFOS.
That's right. You always got a spot.
And they
with
won.
Me.
You sacrificed
they
for
won.
the Michigan win, so you know what you have to do. This New Year's coming up. Stay tuned Thursday. Terry
And you know what I found out about that Rose Bowl? I got to see Ryan Leaf play for the first time in person. I didn't think he was an NFL quarterback.
You tend to know your stuff, just like Neil
for Washington
knows
State.
when the decline is coming. When the team's
I
about
felt like
to go into the
Rule.
nosedive.
This guy's not going to make it.
No, like, but seriously, back to that comment earlier about Neil calling it out. He calls it out before they are about to. He's done it right before the voyage. They run out of gas. I don't know how he knows how much gas.
No,
they
it's
have.
his bunion. His bunion is telling him what's
Terry,
going
you're gonna
on.
have to explain to not only a lot of the viewers what a bunion is, but how that goes back to the old grandma. That's grandma. She tell you.
I know.
Right?
It's like your bunion can predict when it's going to rain.
There it is.
Neil's is a little more special.
I like
no
it.
TFOS. Yours is a little more
Everybody
special.
won in that TFOS story.
Do you remember the time we didn't get a good story from TFOS? I don't either.
Never.
Because it's never happened. It's never going to happen. Period. End of story. TFOS, you delivered as
I had
always.
sex with one of the girls, too.
Well, I sort of figured that.
I forgot that part. Hey.
Bam!
No.
Just one. Chivalry's
stop.
not dead. Just one.
If I was D-Mac, it would have been with all 4 of the girls.
But you have more.
But Terry,
Right.
we're talking 1997 too. You betcha. I was wondering what'd you do to the 5th? Why'd she leave?
No, she just left. She had some. She was bored. She had somewhere to go.
That's what I'm saying. That's awesome.
I think she got scooped up by some dude. That might have been her boyfriend. So he
I
didn't like the
figured it out. He
situation.
threw that in there when he said we showered.
Oh, my.
That's a great way to end this last week of the year.
I will see you tonight at LCA, Monday Night Raw. No Matt Riddle because of COVID. I'm crushed by that.
And no Man and no Seth Rollins because for some reason they're married and they swap and spit, giving it back and forth to them. So it'll be a good show
You going to the
anyways.
Red Wings game January 21st?
I don't know, Terry, but if
you
I'm
are
going to be
what
there,
day
I
of the
will
week is that?
recognize
It's a Friday.
you.
It's a Friday?
It's a CMU is having an alumni thing where we get.
I can't go to that.
We get tickets. We get a cool CMU Red Wings hat. That's the only reason I'm
I
going.
always like those hats. Here, 1 sec. 21st.
Yeah, I'm only going for the hat.
Would you get the hat? You're
Yes.
leaving? All right. That's fair. I will see you on Thursday, my friend. Appreciate
Yes, sir.
you stepping in. D-Mac and I tomorrow. Big ups to everybody for watching, listening, however you consume the show. Certainly, we are glad that you did. Until tomorrow, everyone.
Deuces.
Thanks for listening. Well, see you later.